And so I said, ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Yo! He got the spicy nugs.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Slalt Cast episode number
26.
Number 26. Fuck me.
We've been doing this for half a year.
6 months.
Is it
6
months?
6 months episode.
This is 6
Wait,
months.
is it 26? Jesus Christ.
26. Well, the 20 episode 027. Who knows? It was technically 6 months last week, but I'm going to call it 6 months.
Fuck it.
this
It's
week.
6 months from today. Welcome. What's going on?
Do you know what that means? Corona's been going for like 8 months.
Fuck!
Damn.
Shit, that just sunk
Oh.
in real quick.
Damn, it did.
Fuck.
You know, remember when we were like 2021? It'll be fucking sweet.
And now Europe has like 800 billion cases, and so does America by itself have 1 billion cases.
Jesus.
But you know where it doesn't have cases today?
in
I guess.
fucking
In-
Australia,
in
mate. The land
How
of-
No,
good is that?
first day of no community transmissions.
We've
Fuck
done
yeah.
it, kids.
Round
We've
of
done
applause for the boys.
But to all of our listeners, that does not mean that it's over. Continue to wear masks.
No, it means go to the pub,
It means
kiss everyone.
celebrate.
Speaking of like people not
Get
wearing
together
masks,
in
it's
mass
like
groups.
Speaking of people not wearing masks, hi, this is the Slalt Cast.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Kobe.
I'm me. Hi.
That's,
He's Joseph.
That's
Joseph.
and this is Caden. What's going on?
Again, you can't say that word.
Can't say
we've
that
made it
word.
clear that you can't say that word.
I know.
Why do you hate them so much?
What do you
What?
mean? What? Wait,
What?
Hey,
who?
Hey, you.
Well,
Why
no,
do you
it was
hate
gonna
them
be the
so
joke
much?
that it's gonna get bleeped.
Am I pointing the right way? We have our
No, you
webcams
actually
on again
are.
this week.
Down,
pointing to me?
down is
Yeah.
down is Joseph. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and
I'm
I'm
that's
assuming we're all in
Dan.
the same positions.
That's
No.
That's
No,
Is
that's
that
no.
Dan?
Remember, your camera's mirrored
Oh yeah,
for you.
so that's
That's
Dan.
That's
No,
Dan.
Joseph, other hand, other way.
Me.
You're mirrored.
Me.
Mirrored. Yep.
Your other
Oh,
left.
okay.
I'm,
Your other left.
So that's Caden.
For
Yeah,
audio
that's Dan, that's
listeners,
Kobe.
we're pointing at each other on Discord.
So yeah, this is the second week of trialing having webcams. Caden doesn't have a webcam, but it's gonna lead to very audio friendly shenanigans.
Very audio
so-
friendly. Where we're all
But we were
pointing
talking
and
before we started.
showing things.
We were talking before we started about the eventual setup for when we start actually recording the video, which hopefully should be in like 3 or so episodes. I'm working on it, and obviously Caden does not live close to us, so he will not be able to be physically there. So we're discussing solutions on how to get him in the pod. Do you want to resume that discussion? So Kobe, you're saying you have a broken monitor.
So my suggestion was to have Caden on that fucked monitor. And it
can
would be
just
funny.
progressively get like shittier, or it can just
That's
be.
what I was gonna say. Like, it could start like kind of cracked, and then over the weeks, like whenever we get kind of angry at something he says, we can hit the monitor
Oh, yeah.
again. And
That could be the
eventually
bit.
it'll just be like a flinking.
That could be
yeah,
the
I love it
bit.
when we talk about our bits week ahead.
Yeah,
Like, weeks
weeks
ahead.
ahead, yeah.
Just
This is a peak
just start
volume
like
cut.
trashing the monitor, like episode
no, I
by
don't think-
episode.
Well, fucking, we're getting to the point where we might actually be able to put together our set. You know, been raising funds through the merch. Not an amazing amount of funds raised there. Hey, merch desk, where's some money? But we had quite a week on Twitch last week. So
Good.
we had our cheeky Monday stream. What the fuck?
We
Was
played
Monday
Portal.
me and you again?
Yeah, it
Kobe?
was Portal.
No, that was Wednesday.
No, that was Portal.
Monday was when we didn't know what we were doing.
Wednesday was you and,
And
me.
we-
Oh,
No,
Monday was
Thursday
when we
you.
started Portal, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we would have talked about Monday on last
Yeah,
week's podcast.
on last week's podcast.
Wednesday we continued our Portal stream.
Yeah.
And I think it was the most viewers that weren't listeners of the podcast we've had
Uh-huh.
ever. And they were like actively chatting. It was fucking awesome. We had like 10 concurrents or whatever. We had some random dude donating his bits because Kobe's a fucking serial killer. Do you want to talk about that, buddy?
Oh.
About fucking
What?
Meow Meow, you murderer?
Yeah, I murdered. So there was if you don't know Portal 2, it's a puzzle game involving portals. It's extremely popular. And there's a co-op mode for it where 2 players, and obviously hilarity ensues. You should come check out the stream when Dan and I are playing it. I think we're playing it on Wednesday again. Or it would have been yesterday when this podcast came out. So
Yeah, come watch yesterday's
go watch
stream.
Yeah, VOD, twitch.tv/Slalt.
Hey, Caden, are you
Saltcast.
free to stream this Thursday again?
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. Fuck. Well, I want to stream anyway. So come tonight if you're listening the day this comes out to twitch.tv/SlaltCast. It'll be something.
All right. Anyway, so there was this specific chamber where the puzzle required you to get rid of turrets that shoot at you.
Dan's podcast host note did not require you. It was an option to get
the implication to end the puzzle, right? But there was a way to end the puzzle without killing one of the
like two of the turrets.
Well, without killing
you
two.
Fucking murderer.
But I wanted to kill them because they killed me, and Meow Meow was a culprit in my father's killing.
Oh.
And my parents' divorce.
Established this. Meow Meow was your father.
I still don't believe that.
Are we
Meow
talking
Meow
about
was
in
a
the game or
robot.
in real life?
So what happened was we got to this point in the level, and Kobe's like, all we had to do to progress is I had to shoot a cube at Kobe, he had to put it on a button, and then he portaled to the end of the level. So I'm like, Kobe, it's easy. Just fucking do it.
Do the
He's like,
thing.
no. I want to kill the robot. So we ran a poll in the Twitch chat. We're like, should we kill the robot or not? And overwhelming, no, let the robot live. Eventually, chat named him. I think Nick named him Meow Meow, so he's Meow Meow for the rest of the 40 minutes that this bit went over. This absolute stalemate.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. At one point, I think Kobe and another dude got in a bidding war to kill or not kill. Some random dude wasn't listening to the podcast, just stumbled on us in the Twitch directory, gave us $15 to not kill the fucking turret. And then what did you do, Kobe? What did you do?
So it eventually got to the point where the bid was the bit was getting a bit
Long in the tooth.
Yeah. And so, I was like to Dan, okay, just press the button. And Dan pressed the button, and I outsmarted him with my Portal game, and I got the vengeance that I so truly deserve. And I've been riding that high ever since that Wednesday night.
So what?
Kobe doesn't take L's anymore.
I do not take L's.
You are right. I want to point out Joseph's like a fucking 5-year-old. He's just been like pulling his face and his eyes and shit. And
He's
just
just
looking at
playing
himself
with
in
shit.
the
I'm no
webcam.
joke about to fall asleep, so I'm
just
trying to
playing
stay
with
awake
shit.
for the boys.
King. Anyway, that was Wednesday stream, and then Thursday, me and Caden hit me up and was like, Dan, want to stream tonight? I'm like, fucking oath, let's go. What are we playing? He's like, we'll figure it out later. So we jumped in, we played a cheeky bit of Halo, then we swapped over to some Destiny. But so it's
It was
Slalt
good.
Law. We at Slalt Cast Law, we have our number one fan, that's Lauren, and number one supporter, that's Lauren. Number one, fuck, I've spoiled it.
You've ruined it.
Number one contributor, Lawrence. We now have a new title, our number one supporter. Kaden, do you want to give the brief rundown of what happened on that stream?
So we were kind of fucking about, and we had a decent amount of watches. We got
a cheeky raid from Zapapi.
We had
so that helps the numbers.
we had a good crew, we had a good vibe going. We were all in the chat having a good time, and then my mate Zane does what Zane does, and he gifted some subs and was basically just helping us out, contributing, being one of the guys. And then I think it got to the point where we had a certain number of subs to where you mentioned, you were like, oh shit, we're nearly at our next emote. And then Zane in the chat's like, okay, how many? And instinctively Dan knew okay, no, I can't tell you because you will sub for the remaining amount. And then Dan was just like, tell me. And then I think you kind of teased.
I let it slip. I said it's in the realm of 7. So it was exactly 7 subs. I said it's in the realm of about 7.
So then,
but please don't donate. I said 100.
Instead of
Anyway.
donating 7 or not donating at all, he just goes and gifts 10 subs straight up out of the blue, which was fucking ridiculous. So we nailed that margin.
How much is that? How much money is that?
70 Australian dollars, sorry. So the man went above and beyond and has now earned himself the title of the number one supporter of the Slalt Cast. Because of Zane, Kobe gets to eat this month.
Yes.
Number one sugar
I
daddy.
haven't eaten in 7 weeks.
Only boiled rice. That's all we could afford. The rest of it was.
We got him a
special
carrot on last Thursday.
Somehow I'm still fat.
We
drugs.
are.
Is that where the carrot went?
Maybe didn't eat it.
So while you guys were streaming and making money on Thursday night, imagine making money on a Thursday
What
night.
were you doing, Kobe?
Prostitutes probably
was-
do.
What?
Like
Kobe was a prostitute.
No, I was like, you're saying imagine me. I'm like, well, prostitutes probably make money on Thursday nights. Because it's like payday.
They're not very popular on Thursday nights, trust me.
Kobe always gets the booking in.
Come on, fucking get to your point. What did you do on Thursday, Kobe?
So what I did was I travelled down to a little known place called Wollongong.
Very, really off the map.
Wollongong. Yeah, it's like a 15-hour drive. It's farther down south than Victoria is.
Farther?
And, we played...
Further, you mean?
No, he was thinking about Meow Meow.
Yeah, I was thinking about Meow Meow still. How he killed my father. Yeah.
No, he was... Anyway. Go watch the VOD of the stream, or we're going to cut up that stream and put it on YouTube eventually or something.
We should do that. We should put bits and pieces, like just highlights.
That's the plan. So, we had another gig this week, last week, and it was very fun. Hey, Joseph, do you want to talk about that night? Because
I was there.
I don't want to jerk my dick too hard, but I just want to say that I am fantastic. I'm amazing. I cannot take a single L.
I don't know how to follow that. But yeah, no, it was mad. We got there, a couple of beers. Kirby's mouthing things to me that are I'm uncomfortable.
Kirby plays two shows and then all of a sudden is on top of the world.
He's on cloud 10. He's not even on cloud 9. He's on cloud 10. But yeah, it was really good. I got a lot of compliments. Because they saw us with him, and people were coming up to me and were like, "Fuck, how good is he?" Blah blah blah. That was really good. And then he dropped his glasses, and then he choked, and we laughed.
It wasn't an L though.
It wasn't an L.
I didn't choke. I didn't choke. I coughed because I didn't have any water.
You choked,
and I coughed.
It's canon now. It's law. It's in the law.
No, I don't choke.
Written in
I
the
don't
ancient
choke.
text.
100% win rate right here, buddy.
Doesn't take an L.
Right here.
Doesn't take an L.
Verum shirt too.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Get it from the merch desk.
Anyway, back to the gig. How long was your set, Kobe?
So it was 25 minutes.
We went a bit longer, I think. It went about 30 minutes.
Did we?
It was about 30.
No,
for context, how long was the one at the Vanguard?
That was 30, but we were on for 35 because
most gigs will play for 30. Why the fuck would they say? Unless they said 25 and allowed extra room, because that's different.
I think that's
that was it was kind of implied, but we didn't play for the 25. We may have played for bang on 25. And it was much better than the Vanguard. No, not the Vanguard. Yes, the Vanguard show. It was much better than that.
Nice.
I feel like we played better.
Performance-wise.
Same set list, or I guess probably
different set list. We played all originals this time.
It was actually really good.
Covers.
It was really good.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's. I want to talk about. I want to talk about the gig just because it's a weird experience, getting praise in general. Obviously, I play a character that I'm egotistical and that I'm. My dick is this large.
It's not a character. He's really like this.
It's a character, guys. Look, you guys just can't handle me winning all the time. I get it.
Can't take an L.
It would suck living in my shadow too. Don't worry. I understand. No, but it's a weird feeling getting. It's a weird feeling getting having random people appraise you for stuff and talk you up so much.
They're praising you? How much did they evaluate you at?
Where are you?
Did I use the wrong word?
Praise is what you do to a painting to determine its value.
The value of Kobe's performance was.
It's just praise.
I
you don't need
heard him say it, and I was listening. I'm like, that can't be the correct English word, but I wasn't smart enough.
Yeah, look,
and I didn't want to take an
L. I've heard appraisal in terms of people too.
Or maybe how much they're worth.
But legally, I don't think you
Thomas
can.
Cruise. I mean, hey, tell that to Epstein. He also. Anyway, the gig.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask a question for the room.
Nice.
Mainly Caden, because he's really the only person.
We're in a Discord call, we're not in a room.
I mean,
you could call this a room.
You can call it a digital room.
Yeah.
Anyway, ask the question.
What are you appraising my use of the word room?
Ideally.
This is a genuine question.
Is how do you guys feel about getting praise and just from random people, not from people that you know, from random people.
It doesn't really happen all that often, I guess.
which is why I kind of aimed it toward Caden.
The stream, but even then, it's other than that one time we played Portal, it's all been people internet friends.
I don't know,
or our friends and shit.
I've always had
it from footy, but that's it.
I've always had a mixed opinion on it. Like in terms of music, when I think it's different when you're talking about something creative. When you're talking about like physical performance in something like a sport, I feel like you personally know you've done well. So if someone praises you for that, you're like, fuck yeah, like that's like solidifying my fact.
Not always.
I guess, yeah. I guess it could kind of be in the same vein of like, if you perform well on stage and you know you've performed well and people are solidifying that, or if you've performed like shit and someone's still telling you. I guess it works the same way. I always had like this thing of, oh, they're just trying to blow smoke up my ass, or people are just trying to say nice things, not for the right reasons, and just kind of saying things like, oh, hey, you guys are really sick. Also, check out my band. So I always kind of thought that people weren't genuine. But I've kind of come to realizing over the years that not everyone's like that. Like I was always taking everything with a grain of salt, like, okay, yeah, I think we did okay, or I think I did okay, or I think I maybe fucked this up, or I think I could have done better, blah, blah, blah. So if you're telling me I was great, you're just saying that. Whereas now I'm kind of leaning more on the side of, oh, I guess I'm being too critical of myself. I should take everyone's word. Like, well, not everyone, but I should take what you're saying a little more to heart. But I think I like the fact that I'm now at a point with music to where I'm pretty on board with everyone else's opinions, but I'll always respect and would rather someone be brutally honest and straightforward. Because at least then I know, okay, it almost doubles what they're saying if they're saying something nice, right?
Yeah.
So if someone says, like for you, for example, Joseph, with you and footy, right?
Yeah.
If someone came up to you and was like, dude, you smashed the first half. Like, you were on the ball all the time, in the right position, great defense, blah, blah, blah. And then in the second half, they were like, dude, what the fuck happened? You just gassed yourself. Now you're playing like shit. I feel like if they didn't want to give you all this great compliments and just tell you how amazing you are, they wouldn't have said anything about the second half. They were like, yeah, that was cool. Whereas I feel like if they're more genuine about what they're saying, they would have been like, yeah, you were kind of shit. But also, this was really fucking sick.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's good. I like... Because you don't want to just... Yeah, because no one's perfect. You never do anything perfect. Even when you have, like, say, a perfect game of footy...
Well, other than Kobe.
He doesn't take an L.
I'm perfect. I'm pretty perfect.
Like,
I can't take an L.
Like, even... I remember I had a really good game of footy, but basically in the second half, I went to go and offload, but at the same time, I kind of got pulled down from the back, so my offload basically just flew away, like, into the sky. And that was like pretty shit. And they didn't score from it, but they just got the ball back. But it was sort of like that. And then I was talking to the coach about it, and he goes, "Yeah, no, you had a really good game. Just make sure don't fuck that, and don't fucking do that." It kind of gave me a spray, to be honest, about the one thing bad. Which I was like, you know what, I'd rather that than don't blow. Yeah, like you said, don't blow smoke up my ass.
It's like with the music. Like, it's very different when it comes to the music industry because people can say nice things for their own personal gain.
So more political.
It's a big political thing because it's like we've played with plenty of bands and we personally have thought, they're okay, but we're not going to go up to them and be like, dude, you guys were fucking amazing, like that was sick. We'll be like, dude, that was that was fun, nice set. We're not going to rip them to shreds and we're not going to be cunts and say, hey, you guys were okay. We're going to still be nice, but not suck their dick all night and try to gain something from it. So we appreciate it when people are a bit like that to us. We don't want someone to be a cunt and come up to us, but we also want to, like, if it's people that we trust, we would much rather someone come up to us and be like, hey, that was fucking sick, but you guys lost it at this point, or like, what the fuck happened here?
It's that thing of like you have to pick when to give people criticism like that.
Yeah.
Like if you've just rocked up to a show, like a random show, and you're not even playing, and like saying to someone, you kind of have to suck. You have to suck their dick a little bit, of course, right? But which is why playing in front of like friends and stuff like that is really good because they'll usually be more honest than an audience.
And a spectator, yeah.
Yeah, but it's there are bands that I've seen that I've been like Verum, for example, like that shit band.
Bit of a shit band.
Bit of a shit band. No good music.
I saw this Cinderwinds group. I don't know.
Let's talk
Where
about
they
Cinderwinds.
go?
You know, I'll use Cinderwinds as an example. I saw this band named Cinderwinds. No, but it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, and
it's just nice when people are a little more straightforward and don't have to come and give us all the good things, because if we're drunk enough, we know we're fucking good because we're all dumb and drunk and just got so much fucking courage. Whereas we also know when we fuck up. Like, being an artist and being very critical of ourselves when we play, we know exactly when we fucked up. We don't want someone to come up to us and be like, yo, that was so interpretive, man. I liked when you played the wrong note just here because it was like so totally improvised. Because everyone can tell that that's a fuck up. It's not fucking hard to see. So I don't want someone to come up and say, yeah, that was amazing. I want someone to be like, I don't know what happened.
Speaking of blowing smoke into someone's ass, it's No Nut November, boys.
God, just when 2020 couldn't get worse.
I saw a fantastic tweet today. I forget who it was by, but it said, you know what, boys, No Nut November is cancelled. You've been through enough this year, and you know what?
Yeah.
I saw that tweet too, and I get behind
I think we should.
I get behind
I
that.
think we can all get behind that.
I'm gonna
2020
try.
No Nut November. You're
try
actually going to try?
I'm gonna try it.
Have any of you already failed?
Yes.
No, literally, I was about to do it, and I was like, and then I looked at the day, I was like, yeah. So, but yeah,
Well,
doesn't No Nut November also include sex though?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you just
nutting?
can't nut.
You just can't. You just gotta keep
Just
it
hold it in like a monk.
Edge. Just edge. 30 days of edging.
Dan.
Oh my god.
That sounds like a book title.
30 days of edging. 30 seconds to edge.
Hang on, I have a podcast. I'm going to write that down as the title.
30 seconds to edge.
Don't break me down. Bury me.
Bury my cock in your ass.
Oh god.
Guys, how cool is Jared Leto?
Oh, I'm not.
Did you know that he was in Suicide Squad?
Was he?
Yo.
Yeah, I know, because it gave me fucking suicidal thoughts.
What character did he play?
He was Grammy nominated the Joker.
Did you see Grammy nominated the Joker?
Has he won a Grammy?
No.
No way. 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, I think they have.
Hang on.
I think they've been nominated.
They're giving those shits to everybody.
Everyone's got at least something.
Okay, my goal for I've said this many times. I keep moving the goalposts for the Slalt Cast. Yeah. My goal is to get a daytime Emmy for the Slalt Cast.
It's like nominated Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, the Slalt Cast,
the Slalt Cast Monkey Mode Power Hour.
It's on, was it 10 Peach? But it's just me and Dan running around in monkey suits with just a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito holding it like it had gone and praising it, throwing bananas at it.
Oh my god.
My god, he going X game mode.
It's
the Danny DeVito when he's in the cheetah outfit.
Oh my god.
Sup bitches, I'm a man cheetah.
So, hey Caden, I know that you so thoroughly listened to last week's episode.
Yes.
You listened to every second of it. You know exactly what we talked about.
Yeah.
So you remember the contest regarding the episode description that I revealed had happened and no one had noticed?
I remember you talking about it when we streamed, so I didn't have to listen to the podcast.
So for a recap, for those who don't listen to every episode, if maybe this is your first episode because you listened to episode 0, you heard me tell you to fuck off and you came to this one.
Episode 0 garbage.
You heard Kobe jerk himself off and then talk about not wanting smoke blown up his ass, and you're like, what the fuck are these guys? Anyway, so last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago's episode, in the description I said, the first person who reads the description, there was a code word in there, whoever DMs me the code word first, I'll PayPal them $5. Because I wanted to see if anyone actually read the descriptions. No one did it. We talked about it on last week's podcast, and we were like, fucking, you all suck. Not really, we don't care, the description's not the content, I don't give a fuck. I just thought it was a funny thing. And so my big brain play was to do it again on last week's episode. So once again, last week's description was secret double challenge. The new code word is yay, because we talked about Kanye a bunch. DM Dan on Insta and you'll still get $5. I'm just very interested to see whether anyone read the description after the talk in last week's episode. And once again, no one read it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's not 100% true. So number one contributor Lawrence Wheel Cringe on Insta, he DM'd me after listening to the episode, and he's like, I didn't know you wrote the descriptions. My bad, my guy. And then I was like, like I do it for fun. I don't actually care. I was just playing it up for the podcast. And he was like, he DM'd me back. He's like, well, at any rate, I dare you to do it again. And then I just waited. I waited for I didn't say anything back. I waited for him to realize, and then he's just like, oh wait, you did. And I was like, just DM the code word, you get the $5, and he refused to DM the code word. He wanted to see if anyone else would get it, but yeah, no. So Lawrence only noticed after thinking it'd be funny if I'd do it again.
That's fucking gold.
So I will guarantee you that this week's description will not contain $5.
I think the bid's up now.
No, the bid is definitely up.
I think the bid's up by now.
Yeah.
So Joseph, you wrote something fairly interesting in our podcast ideas chat when I about an hour ago panicked saying, guys, we have nothing written in our podcast ideas chat. You said after Corona, should the boys live overseas? Do you want to talk through your thinking here?
Why are we going overseas? What's going on?
Well, so my brain was like, well, basically after Corona goes, I think me and Caden were supposed to go overseas this year for 3 months. Yeah,
that hurts.
Well, I don't. Well, you won't go.
Your first trip as a couple.
I was going to be 2 weeks because then I was doing America straight after.
Yeah, and then so I was supposed to be over there for 3 months, and so what I was thinking, because my dreams, I've always wanted to live in Italy or somewhere in Europe.
Well,
I'm going.
Wouldn't have guessed. Would not have guessed.
Really?
You live in Italy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
I never knew that. I never knew that about you.
Okay. And no, just because I know my couple of my cousins did it, and I was just thinking, considering, because I wanted to do like a longer trip. I was thinking as well, you can do like 2-3 months of actually just like running around travel, and then like 9 months of actually like finding a spot. You don't even have to plan it. You just, wherever you've gone, you think, fuck, this is actually going to be a mad place to live.
Well, like
and it's where you can get a job as well. Like I know my cousin, he went around, and then he was like, fuck. He was supposed to go for a month. He ended up staying there for like 7 or 8 months, and he stayed in Malta. He just fucking found it awesome. So I was like, that's what the boys should do. We should just go over and just,
Those
experience
with dual citizenship.
I've got
experience.
So I wanted to break this question
It's easier
out
with your
further.
Australian as well.
I wanted to break this out further and say, so if you guys had to pick somewhere else to live, overseas or domestic, just somewhere else, where are you thinking?
I've got a domestic and an international one.
So do I.
So I'd probably say domestic.
Do you want to kick it off, Joseph?
We'll start with domestic, go around domestic, and then go around international?
Sure.
Well, for mine, domestic probably would be Narrawali, down Ulladulla, where I've got like my house, just because I love it down there. I know.
Again, would have guessed? I would not have guessed.
Joseph, you've blown my mind.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, I would never have anticipated
It's like me saying
that
my
is
domestic
so
travel is going to
incredibly
be going back
surprising.
down to Sydney. It's not.
Well,
really...
there's nowhere else I want to go.
Why wouldn't you
domestic?
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, okay.
Well,
my thoughts,
that's where
if
I
was
like
wanted to move somewhere, I'm thinking Radelaide, honestly. The internet flows through the pipes plentifully down there.
It's just
and
going where the
housing is a
internet
lot cheaper
goes.
than in Sydney.
That's
Hell
also
yeah.
true.
They got way better internet and houses are cheaper.
Also,
and
but then you have
the
to
climate's kind of cool.
Then you have to live
but
in
you
Adelaide.
also have to live in Adelaide.
Yeah.
You have to live in the
comes
city
at
of
a
churches.
price.
Either Adelaide or Melbourne.
Melbourne's quite
the-
nice, but just the
I've never
weather's
been
shit
to Melbourne,
house.
but I always hear good things. So I'm all.
Well, you should come next time PAX is legal. We should do PAX
I'm gonna
again. That was
just
a lot of fun.
go out and say that I do my domestic to Melbourne, only because I really have no other plans of being anywhere else. Because for me, like my actual thought of moving and living somewhere is going to be either the Gold Coast or down to Sydney. Like that's it. So
I mean, you can choose to
You
stay
can
where you are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to come back down so soon.
it'd be nice.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can just. I mean,
You can move further north.
You know what?
You know Cairns is good this time of year.
I think I'll just stay.
Kobe, what about you domestically? Where would you want to move?
I probably can't choose anywhere else. It'd probably be probably the Gold Coast. Like if you said you can't still
You're just
live in
trying to
Sydney.
get
Damn, so he'll come to the Gold Coast and I'll go down to Sydney when he gets here.
Yeah, but more
That sounds
honestly,
like a
I
good
don't,
trade. That sounds like a good trade.
no, but more honestly, I don't think I'll ever not live in Sydney. Like,
Well, I pay my
Unless-
respects to your personal
I was
finances.
going to say,
Yeah.
wait until you can afford your own place.
I pay for living here at the
How
moment.
much do you pay a week?
You rent your room.
I pay.
In your
It's not a
parents'
weekly.
house,
It's not weekly. It's
owning
like
your
350 a month.
150 a month. I know
Yeah.
people that pay that on a week.
Yeah, I know, Caden. Yeah, they pay that. I fucking sorry. Fuck. Do you want me to just live here for free? Is that what you want me to do? So, but more importantly, internationally, Joseph, you can't choose Italy. Where would you live?
I mean, he
You
could
can
choose
choose
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah,
That's the
so
topic
if
of
you-
the
I'm kidding.
conversation.
I'm kidding.
Italy or Malta? I really
Okay.
like Malta.
So
Malta's
Europe,
beautiful.
you're not
Do
even
Europe.
considering the US.
No, fuck that. No, I love Europe. That's
I do.
everything's so close.
I personally would do America because I think for me,
Where specifically?
I've always wanted to do Austin. I've always liked Austin.
Texas? Yeah, Texas boy.
I'm going to
Texas
Texas with my
I mean,
rednecks.
With all your Proud
Austin's
Boys.
the new LA, basically.
Apparently, from everything I've been hearing.
Ro Mogan moved there.
Yeah,
Joseph Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Nah, I've always wanted to do America only because, like, music industry wise, there's a lot more going on, and I think just the overall lifestyle, I think, is a bit more entertaining to me personally.
I like it how they can, when you send your kids to school, they could get shot.
Yeah.
And then if you get sick, you're gonna go broke.
It's like the toss of
Yeah.
a
I
coin.
also like how they
And they're all
find
racist.
themselves being the center of world history when they're relatively a young nation.
Anyway, as much as I'm talking shit about America, my brain, I there was a period of my life where I could not fathom the idea of me not living in San Francisco at some point just because of, like, the tech industry. Less so now.
Dan, I want you
As-
to give me some reasoning why you would not want to move to America now.
Well, there's a little... I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's kind of woken me up a little how poorly that country's handling it. No, I don't know. And then, obviously, like, the leadership and I feel like my opinions on guns and, like, race discrimination and all that has been made apparent over the past of the podcast. That being said, if I had to move somewhere internationally, like LA or SF, I don't know, California, I like being close to the tech. And once again, the internet pipe's pretty good there.
Damn.
And it's probably the least.
But also, I'm a big fan of
Racist.
pretty buildings. So, I mean, yeah, somewhere in Europe would be cool too, but I don't know, not my vibe.
Mine's Japan.
You go to Japan.
Oh, fuck. I don't speak
Yeah,
that.
Is
though.
this
Yeah.
is this because of a weeaboo kind of thing, or is this because
No, it's not a weird kind of thing. I've always liked Japan. I've always liked Japan. You can nod.
Japan
You can
pretty
nod,
epic.
Joseph. Caden watches more anime than me.
actually haven't?
Oh, speaking
Right.
of anime, Caden, fucking Akira, how good?
Oh,
Quick aside.
We can
So
come back to that.
they-
We can come back to that. Let Kobe finish
Yeah,
his,
no,
Okay.
and we'll come back to it.
Yeah. And I want to say one more thing as well on that, but you go, KB, as well.
I just like Eastern culture in general, and Japan is not China, one, and it's not so Korea, so it's like a middle ground
the
between
fucking
China and
Goldilocks
Korea.
of
Yeah,
the
it's-
Asian countries.
And it's got anime titties, so like that's a plus. Obviously, I
Kobe.
lied when I said it wasn't about the
I
anime
lied.
thing.
A question I want to pose to you is: are you aware of the fact that Japanese people are not anime in real life?
No, I'm fully aware.
So you know that they're 3D
but-
and not
yes,
2D.
I understand that they're 3D.
If it's like the Blade Runner thing, you can just get a hologram and pretend.
Exactly.
Just do the thing.
You can get
where you hire.
You can have a threesome with a hologram, Ana de Armas, and real. What was that actress's name? Hang
No
on.
one paid attention.
Oh,
Daniel
I paid
Day-Lewis.
attention.
It's Daniel Day-Lewis.
I love Daniel
Putting my
Day-Lewis.
money
You're
on it.
right. It was Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ah, hell yeah. All right, let's continue our chat. We won't
Yeah.
research this further.
I'm researching.
What I was gonna say,
Mackenzie Davis.
Oh god. Oh yeah. What I was gonna say about living overseas, like it's like all good, and then but like going to different countries, like especially
It's a new,
like the
it's
reason
a new
I
chapter. It's
the reason I said
interesting
like
life.
Malta as well, because Malta's not that different from Australia in terms of like living in Italy. Like everything's crazy and everyone's crazy and like people.
You just want to go to Malta so we can do the Italian men went to Malta.
Yeah, basically. No, but like.
I forgot about that again.
Yeah, right? See, it's all stored in my brain.
I want the fork on the table.
No, but it's like because Malta's got like the British influence as well, so it's a bit more orderly, and like everyone speaks. It's a lot more comfortable there, if that makes sense, than like it being in Italy, and it's also going from Malta to everywhere else is like so easy. Like I'm pretty sure it's like an hour and a half plane trip to Belgium and France and things like that.
I'm more contrarian to that. I feel like
Kobe Contrarian?
No.
Wow.
Devil's advocate?
I feel like not so much contrarian, but I feel like that living somewhere else should be a much different experience.
But it's more like you still want to have some comforts.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, it's an
normalcy,
unfamiliar face to a degree. Like, you don't know anyone, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are, you won't even know the language. So it's like setting yourself a challenge of like, I want to be in this foreign country because I want to meet new people and find new experiences.
I think we had a wide variety of
We're
answers.
all
I think
just
we all
going
had
to
something
fuck off
different.
around the world and never see each
Akira!
other.
Oh.
That's-
Alright,
Yeah, if you guys want to talk about it.
so I wasn't on the podcast last week, I apologise.
I've never
No,
seen
we didn't
it.
talk.
I've never seen Akira.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about last week, and you were like, I picked a session during the podcast.
Well, this is what
recording. I was
happened,
like, thank
right?
you.
This is what happened. I had organised...
Just wait, should we give the pretense? Like, what happened? Why?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I had organised to see the earlier session so I could actually come and do the podcast. Not that kind of come. I was gonna come and do the podcast right after the session. So I had organised to go see it at like 4:00. And I had the whole day off. But then what had happened was I had some mates who wanted to come with us. And I was like, ooh, okay, they can come, but they couldn't do the early session. They could only do the late session. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go see the late session. I really want to see this movie and I've only got this day off. I was like, sorry boys, I'm not going to make it. I want to see this movie and I can only do this later session. Only to find out that they weren't actually able to come to the later session. So I just booked the later session and just went and saw it by myself. Not by myself, I was with Summer.
So what did you see? Explain. That's
We
what
just
I was
talked
trying to get
about
you to explain
Akira.
before. Well, I mean, we said the word Akira. So Akira, classic 1982 anime film. Some call it the birth of many modern anime tropes. It's getting like a 4K Blu-ray release, and because of that, Funimation is doing a limited theater run. I'm just trying to talk, being very distracted by Joseph, like about to pass out.
Going as fucking red as a tomato over there.
It's because it's like, yeah, we just talked about Akira.
We're trying not to bully Caden. We're trying not to bully Caden. Joseph, you just had to ruin it. It's not that funny. It's not that funny.
No.
It's confusing. It's confusing, but it's not that funny. You're just a cunt now.
No, it was not Kaden doing it. No, it was Dan's response to it. It was like, well, we said the word. We didn't actually talk about it. That's what I'm laughing at, not Kaden.
Anyway.
Bet.
Oh my god.
So, you'd seen Akira before, Caden?
I had seen Akira
As
before,
had I.
yes.
Fucking...
I've always loved Akira, but I never understood it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely is a bit of a fucking trip of a movie. That's gonna that's the Slalt Cast movie recommendation of the week. Go watch Akira. It's available maybe on Netflix or something.
No.
I can't remember. You'll be able to go find it.
Let me
It's
check.
fucking hectic.
It's not on Netflix.
I'll pull
It's
that
not
up.
on Netflix.
Jamie, pull that up.
Okay, well,
It's ridiculous for a number of reasons. Like, the story is pretty compelling. It sets a scene pretty quick, and you just kind
Not
of
on
thrown
Netflix
in.
confirmed.
It is on Netflix?
No, not on Netflix
Oh,
confirmed.
not on Netflix. It sets the scene pretty quick. You're thrown into this, like, not too unfamiliar world, but just very exaggerated on, like, typical post-apocalyptic future. Where shit's gone to hell, and people are rioting in the slums, and it's just a dirty city environment.
Like cyberpunk, basically.
Essentially.
I mean, that's the cyberpunk aesthetic. It's
Yeah, no,
exactly like
that's
that.
that's what I meant. Not the game
Yeah.
sort of thing.
So it kind of throws you into it, but you very, very quickly pick it up. You're like, okay, I get what's going on here.
I mean, and it's just cool. Like, I think Akira, you can kind of attribute Akira for being the movie that invented, like, the cool anime tropes. So like the anime lines and like the fast motion and the cool neon lights and the fucking.
It set the scene
like
for a lot of animation.
The main character vibes, type thing. That all was kind of.
It definitely set the scene. Like animation wise, like at its time, it was way above everything else.
I mean, it still looks beautiful.
It still looks beautiful. Like I remember watching a thing, I think it was Corridor Digital. The VFX artist breakdown animation. I was watching that where they're talking about it and how at the time Akira came out, it was like one of the first movies to do 24 frames in a second.
Yeah. So one of like the revolutionary things about what they did. So back in '82, when you wanted to do animation, you couldn't do it on a computer. Like it was extremely expensive, like prohibitively expensive to do it on a computer, and you couldn't get the level of fidelity that they wanted. So literally every frame is hand drawn. They take a photo of it with like a film camera, so it's not like a digital camera where you can immediately look at it. You have to take a photo of a film camera. If you want to check that frame, you have to develop it, and it's a process to do it. And what they do is, so like Akira kind of invented like the aesthetic of like as I said, like the glowing like anime lines and shit. So they'd fucking take a photo. Like, they'd do one exposure on the film of, like, the background. They'd do a second exposure of, like, the foreground and stuff, like the characters and stuff. And then they'd go and they'd cut holes in the film and, like, shine light through it and do a third exposure of, like, the glowing trails and shit. And, like, that technique...
When blended together in post, just put, like, a whole nother element
that is the post. Like, there was no computer. It's literally, that was the post. And that aesthetic has kind of, like, been pervasive through anime.
And it's...
I don't know, it's cool.
It's ridiculous. Like, if you go back and you watch Akira now and you look at it, like, knowing that it's all hand-drawn and it's all done, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Because when did it come out?
82.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, it's smooth. Transitions through scenes are pretty seamless. A lot of the cinematography aspects to it is pretty, like... It's just sets the world into, like, this much bigger landscape.
Speaking of world's bigger landscapes and groundbreaking CG, Mandalorian Season 2 has started. And I was thinking it'd be a fun little segment if we close out every show for the next 8 weeks, because there's 8 including this week, because there's 8 episodes of The Mandalorian, with a brief spoiler discussion of our thoughts on the episode of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
So this week's episode, Caden hasn't watched it.
I haven't watched it, but I'm happy to get it spoiled.
Do you want to go in depth?
Can we also recap our thoughts on the first season as well?
That's when I start. So I'll just give you the brief rundown. This week we saw Season 2, Episode 1. It's titled Chapter 9, The Marshal. So yeah, we'll start off the top. What were your guys' thoughts on Season 1 of The Mandalorian?
I liked it. I really liked it. I think it's the best Disney Star Wars property they've made.
Like, with the Akira thing, I like the fact that it's, like... It holds tight to its old school. I like it holds back to its old school, just like really DIY animation, or like in this case it's animatronics. So like, for example, instead of we're talking about going and keeping it old school. Keeping it old school.
Yeah. Baby Yoda.
So
okay.
Like with the old Star Wars, like there was no CG, there was no animation, it was minimal. Just very much all done by hand, and they kind of followed through with this Mandalorian, making it very much like the old school days, which I think was my favourite thing about the season.
Well, anything that Dave Filoni touches in the Star Wars universe tends to be fantastic.
He, like Kobe, has never taken an L.
Yes.
I personally didn't enjoy Season 1 of The Mandalorian that much, but I think, especially after watching this episode, it's because I had my expectations for what the show is wrong. Mm-hmm. I expected it to be like a very like tight 8 episode single
story
narrative,
arc,
where it's really not. It's kind of more of like a monster of the week Western movie. It's like Cowboy Bebop if it was live action and not as good.
Something to do, something to watch. There's an overarching story that plays out over a number of episodes, but you're really not getting everything in one episode.
I do have some thoughts, and I'll touch on this later. Like, I think the main character being the Mandalorian, and because it really is like the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western style, like nameless, faceless protagonist, like mysterious stranger, like the Dollars trilogy type thing, and because Star Wars is such like an 80s like pop type universe, having like such a bland character means that the people around him need to
be wacky and
like,
zany,
pick up the slack, and I think they go too far with that. Like we'll talk about when we talk about this episode. But yeah, that's kind of some of my criticisms of the first season.
I thought.
Oh,
you go ahead.
I thought the first season was like it was originally scripted and storyboarded as a movie, or pitched as a movie rather,
and then got split
for
up
an exclusive movie for Disney Plus, or like a standalone on its own. And then Disney had the idea for Disney Plus, and they said, "Well, why don't you make it episodic? Because you can." Like, I'm with Dan. The criticism is completely valid that the first 8 episodes, like, had a really strong like first couple episodes, and then the shit in the middle.
I'd say the
like,
first 3 episodes and the last 2 were pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just those middle 3.
Yeah,
where
that
nothing
felt
happened.
yeah, it felt like it was setting up for stories later. Like a lot of it felt like there was you're just typical monster of the week type of stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like watching The
Joseph, do you wanna
Flash.
give your thoughts, and then we can get into the episode.
I liked it. I did think, like you guys said, it just became a bit monster league. But like, I get it. I like Dan. I went in, I think, with my expectations wrong. Thinking it was going to be, an eight episode fucking like. Not game, like what's an 8 episode series?
The Boys.
Yeah, like The
Boys.
Boys.
It'd be like The Watchmen or The Boys.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, like that, like
something
something like
high budget, high production
really
value,
compelling
tight
story that plays out
Yeah.
through every single episode.
Yeah, which is all those things. Just I would say it's more
Laid back.
Is it overarching or overarching?
both.
Both. Is it either?
It's the same thing.
Well, yeah,
It's tomato.
yeah. It's got the
Appraisal.
appraisal. Yeah, like it's got the overarching story, and then I like in the middle it kind of slows down.
I feel like it's one of those I'll try and cap it off here, but it's more of a casual watch. Like you go and you watch The Boys, or you watch, say, like Game of Thrones or Watchmen. You have to kind of tune in the whole time to get everything. Whereas I feel like The Mandalorian, you can kind of just mull about, watch it.
You don't have to pay as much attention as I'd like to have to for a Star Wars.
Exactly.
I kind of wanted it to be a bit more. But look, that's
anyway,
what.
so we'll jump into this episode.
You just
were you talking?
No, I'm like,
What's
Kobe?
What's
what are you
Kobe's
doing?
pointing the wrong way?
I googled define appraisal. All right, and my use of the word is completely correct.
No, you said
Appraise to say appraise would be incorrect, but appraisal is correct.
No, but you were saying you were being like appraised, which is not wrong. You're being given praise.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
Appraisal is a
fairly
formal assessment.
certain.
Anyway,
I said
the Mandalorian.
I'm outraged.
No, but you're still
I'm
wrong.
outraged.
Wrong,
back
though.
on its tracks.
What did you guys think of the?
That's a good.
What did you guys
thing,
think of the
Kevin.
opening scene? Like most of these Monster of the Week shows, it kind of starts in media.
Wait,
res.
do you want-
It
wait.
puts you.
Caden, do you want to go on mute for this? So you
No,
don't get spoiled?
I'm happy to listen to it, and I'll.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm not.
Also, yeah, spoilers for the Mandalorian.
I'm
We're
not
gonna go
super
into
like
episode.
die hard. At least for the first episode, I know it's
Die
Well,
Hard, good
Mando and Baby Yoda die in this first episode, so
Yo.
yo.
Anyway, we open on the main streets of who knows where. It doesn't really matter. And we
some
see
other desert
2
planet.
Gamorrean guards. No, not guards, just Gamorreans, the pig dudes from episode 6, fighting each other in a cage. And Mando sits down talking to a Cyclops. Did you pick the Cyclops named Gor Koresh? Did you pick who the actor was for Gor Koresh?
The guy who plays the pirate in Dodgeball.
It's
nailed
Dane
it.
DeHaan.
Nope, it was John Leguizamo.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
interesting pull.
Who's
Anyway,
that?
just Google it. You'll know his face. So yeah. Anyway, what did you think of that opening scene? Because it kind of opened it. He did his like cool Mando, I'll fuck you up type shit. There was the poor CG Gamorreans in the background, and then the pretty cool fight scene after. What was your guys' thoughts? I thought it was like a pretty strong opening. It just, I feel like every time I was watching this with Brooke, and she probably got pissed off the number of times I said it. The show needed like an extra $1 million to just tighten up the CG just enough. And it's not like
CG?
Disney doesn't have the millions to give it.
It just doesn't want.
Was it CG?
Yeah,
I thought they were in costume.
They were.
There's some
Then
more they looked like oversaturated, like too green for the scene. It looked weird.
looked like
And
the
then
Incredible Hulk, the
I was
original
more
one.
thinking when they were hitting each other with the swords, the weird like particle effect.
I don't know why that was a thing.
Looks kind of cheap.
Yeah,
I think it's probably
yeah.
in post they added it because like they were hitting each other and it wasn't impactful enough, so they added the weird flashy thing.
Yeah, but I thought those because they were when you walk in, they were costumes, and then after I think they turned CG in the background.
No.
The way I saw it, because they kind of went weirdly out of focus.
How they film The Mandalorian, it's actually very interesting. Instead of just doing like a green screen like you would for any other production, like an Avengers movie or something these days, they've built a room that is an LED wall, like on 3 of the 4 walls, and the ceiling. So what they have is they have like an area of floor which they'll put like fucking sand over it and some props and shit, and the actors exist in. And then the walls are all LED walls, and it's connected up to a computer that's running the Unreal Engine, which is a video game engine. And they've made the further landscapes in Unreal, so
the lighting,
the actors can look out and actually see where they are, and the lighting's corrected, which is especially good for Mandalorians wearing like a fucking
giant metal
mirror.
Yeah.
So to get the proper reflections. And the cameras are actually motion tracked by the computer, so that as the camera moves,
the scene will move.
Like the scene will move with them, so that the camera positions are accurate. There's an 8-part documentary on Disney Plus on the shooting of the first season of Mandalorian. Very interesting.
Pretty impressive. I actually want to go back and watch that because I haven't watched it, but you told me to.
Even if it's about like the whole production of the Mandalorian. Even if you only watch the episode about the shooting, it's definitely worth it.
Being a bit of a nerd about like the whole behind the scenes things when it comes to like movies or even with music, that shit interests me a lot.
Anyway, so the main plot of this episode was the Mandalorian goes back to Tatooine, where everything in Star Wars happens.
Yeah, I swear to God, I don't want to hear about Tatooine.
Star Wars.
He goes back to Tatooine because, as he puts it, he was quested to return the child to its species, which is kind of a cool way of saying it.
It sounded a lot like he was Kanye West on the Joe Rogan
I've been
podcast.
Quested.
I've been
I got
quested.
A message from God.
I was summoned.
Jesus Christ sent me. It is my calling to get this baby back to its parents.
Anyway, so
when he said that though, I was like, "Fucking hell! It's gonna be week to week shit now." I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "I'm still gonna watch it."
The episode
still gonna watch it.
Is he goes back to Tatooine because he heard there's another Mandalorian on Tatooine. So he pulls up on this town. He sees a dude. Who's wearing Boba Fett's armor.
Ooh.
Spoilers.
Damn.
And he's like, "Hey!" And then he takes off his helmet. He's not Boba Fett. And then a sand snake comes. And they're like, "We gotta kill the sand snake." And so he unites the sand people and the people in this town to kill the sand snake. So that's like the top, like the elevator pitch of the episode. Timothy Oliphant plays Cobb Varth or Con Varth.
He was good at. I thought he was good in it.
Who is the Marshal? Who's actually a character for the expanded universe. So a lot of this episode was pulling stuff from elsewhere in Star Wars.
Well, that's good. I like that.
I try to, like, normally you cringe at, but I thought they handled it pretty well this episode. So, like, of course, when he's like, "We have to go back to Tatooine," I rolled my eyes because everything in Star Wars happens on Tatooine.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, "Fuck!" But then he said it because we need to find a Mandalorian. I was like, "Oh my God, they're just gonna bring him in."
Yeah, but I thought they handled it pretty well. So the plot of the episode was that the Krayt Dragon, which is a thing from Knights of the Old Republic, but it's also like that skeleton in the sand at the start of New Hope was a Krayt Dragon, and they also explore the Sand People a lot more and
which was pretty cool. I did like that.
Which is something I like. I really
like
like that, actually. I'll just go. I have like a notes document here of some shit that I've written down. The scene where they were on the speeder bikes together.
Oh my God.
A couple of scenes like this.
Oh, the speeder bike.
That's the worst CG in the show. They need to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's very clear that they're just sitting in the volume and the camera's like pretending to whip past. None of it looks right.
There's a fan blowing it.
Well, no, that's my first point. There was not a fan blowing it. They're supposed to be fucking flying on a speeder bike, and his cape is dead still.
Wait, no.
And Timothy Oliphant's hair isn't moving.
Yeah,
it was
terrible.
so bad. Like, they did that shot 3 times. And, like, you're making Star Wars, you're on, like, a multi-million-dollar fucking futuristic soundstage, and you can't put a fan in front of Mando.
Yeah, that's not on.
That's, like, my main issue with the show,
it's
really, is like stuff like that.
Just a random shitty
It's like $1 million too cheap.
It's like I was saying when we started talking about it, like, what it gets right, it does so well, and the shit that it should get right very easily, it manages to just butcher almost. Like in the first season, there's a couple scenes where you're like, okay, you can have this really cool animatronic of what was the fucking There was an episode in the first season where they had the big beast.
Oh, the AT. Wait, do you mean the AT-AT?
No, the things he was writing with
Oh, the
whatever they were.
What are they fucking
Yeah,
called?
the guy that says, I have spoken.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, those
Nick-
things.
So
yeah.
it's like
Melty.
that whole thing with the guy that I have spoken was done really, really well.
They're the
really
things from the
fucking
Ewok movie.
Shut up.
But then the CG or like the little shit like the fan, the simple things.
See, I feel like this is a problem that Disney has in general.
That's very
it's the-
sweeping statement.
It's a very...
Do
It's,
you want to?
General
let me
hates
elaborate
CGI.
first. No, which is like Disney have this
Arrogance?
I wouldn't say, but also like lack of
Attention to detail.
No, lack of confidence, but that's not the word because they're extremely confident as a company. But it's that sort of feeling that you get from a lot of their more recent
Are you trying to
stuff.
say all of Disney, or are you saying only Star Wars? Because I'll agree with you with the Disney Star Wars stuff.
Disney Star Wars
I'd say
is very-
all of Disney's a bit of a sweeping statement.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
care and attention to details. Put
you know,
that. Just
you know
a lot
what?
of-
I would say mainly Star Wars, but it's also
of the
like
Disney Star
sort
Wars
of
feels like
not making
designed
a
by
lot of
committee.
yeah, but also not like making new IPs too. Just sort of like that, how they don't have
Well, they made the Mandalorian.
again, like
They made Rogue One.
saying
What do you? I'm confused about that. What do you mean?
like
That's all
new
of the Star
IPs,
Wars
like
IPs talking like new shit.
yeah, in general.
I'm sorry. Did you see Onwards or Soul?
Also,
No, I haven't.
they don't have to, Kobe, because they're a
I know
money,
they don't
they're
have
a
to.
money-making machine. They actually.
That's
They
why
come
I
out
said
with
lack
enough
of
new
confidence
IPs.
isn't the right term, but it's that feeling of lack of
But they
confidence.
do enough new IPs though. Like you got to think like Moana, Frozen, like Brave. Like they are doing new. They do enough new
Yeah.
stuff, but they also sprinkle in the old shit because it's a cash cow.
Well, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like they sprinkle in new IPs and
Star Wars is their cash
Marvel's
cow.
the cash cow.
You reckon?
All of
Marvel's
Pixar's
the
the
cash
cash
cow,
cow. They have
yeah.
so many cash
Yeah.
cows. What do you mean? Do you reckon? Do you remember, Joseph? What's the highest grossing movie in the world right
Yeah,
now?
I don't.
It's Avengers.
And then what's the second one? Avatar, made by Fox, who they own.
Yeah.
Like Disney's
They've got money coming in
cash.
from all different sources. They can do whatever the fuck
So
they
yes,
want.
it blows my mind that they can't give Jon Favreau an extra couple million to just like tighten up Mandalorian.
Just a little bit.
like-
just a little bit. That's all it needs.
Like another criticism I had when they're in front of like the lair of the dragon, and it's supposed to be the whole village and all of the sand.
there's, like, 8
and
people.
There's like 8 people standing there. It's like, oh man, like a lot of the show just feels empty, and I feel like that's because they're shooting the volume is what they call like the soundstage with the LED walls.
They can't fit that many
Because
people.
they're shooting on the volume, yeah, it's not that big of a space.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
true.
they can only have so many people on there. I did think, however, like I did like the episode. I've come around on it when I was watching it. I was like, but I've thought about it. I've thought about what the show is. I've reset my expectations, and I do like this episode.
Nice.
Like Timothy Oliphant was fantastic.
He wasn't zany
Amy-
and wacky.
Oh, Amy Sedaris, who is in the landing pit,
Yeah.
she was still as wacky and zany, and that comes back to my point about Mando being boring, so everyone else needs to be a cartoon character. Not so much that she toned it down, but she was in the episode way less, so it was less
Over the top.
abrasive. Like her episode in season 1 was my least favorite episode of the whole show. I fucking hated her character. I hated that episode. It was way less abrasive this time.
Nah, okay.
And then Timothy Oliphant was fantastic. The cool flashback bit where he was like defending the village and the Boba Fett's thing came down.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
shot
so
the missile.
cool.
Like fan service that didn't feel cringy.
Yeah,
Like, it was actually
in.
awesome.
Like he didn't do it just to blow up a truck there that was there because he's testing it out to make himself look cool. It was actually it's there for a purpose.
I also thought a cool touch was in that flashback when they were like watching on TV in the pub, basically, like the second Death Star getting destroyed. Like that was like cool world building.
Yeah, I like that.
That felt like a Dave Filoni thing, but this episode was written and directed by Jon Favreau. Interesting.
Probably Dave
Very
Filoni was there
exciting.
going. This
You
is-
should do
I'm sure it was
this.
over his shoulder, but
yeah. Well, I mean, they've been pretty close on Star Wars projects
Well,
as
it's
well.
just it's interesting because a lot of season 1 of The Mandalorian was credited both of them as the writer.
Yeah.
This one was like expressly
Like,
only
yeah.
Jon Favreau was the writer.
Yeah,
So it's
or maybe
kinda
when they
cool.
were
Right.
maybe when they were writing this, still doing Clone Wars or something. He was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, the final season.
Yeah.
It's the final season of
Well,
Clone
to close out the episode.
Oh, we missed one. We missed
Or-
one thing. We missed one thing.
I was gonna leave it to you guys. There was the one major point at the end.
Do you want to talk about it or me?
Wars. Oh
Kobe?
yeah.
One of you two. I've been talking a lot.
Can I talk about it? Can I
You
talk
go,
about
you
it?
go,
I got so excited.
Okay.
It's my-
How about we say it at the same time? We'll say it at the same time. All right. Ready? That
Princess Leia's alive.
Princess Leia's
Grand Moff
alive.
Tarkin.
Okay, we need to read each other's lips. Hold on, we can get this right. Ready?
Boba Fett. He's back, daddy. I don't shit. He's back, daddy. He's back, daddy.
Yeah, so the last shot of the episode is what's his face? What's the actor's name? It's
Django Fett character. Django Fett actor. The Kiwi man.
Tamora Morrison.
Yes, that's it.
Turning, facing the camera, looking all fucked up from the Sarlacc pit.
That was so fucking cool.
But yeah, no. So, what do you think that having Boba Fett in the series is a good thing? How much do you reckon he's going to be in the series?
What do you guys think? Can I get a like and subscribe and a comment in the?
I don't think he'll be.
I was asking you guys. But okay, you can ask the audience too.
I think he'll be a major character, but I don't think it'll be a big plot thread because apparently Ahsoka and another Rebels character Sabine are in this.
Oh, Sabine.
Also, I was thinking, so Sabine was tied to like the Mandalore arc in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, was she?
We'll get like Boba Fett's input?
No, in Rebels.
Rebels,
You're thinking of the redhead chick.
I'm thinking of the redhead chick. You're right. But anyway, were you thinking we're going to get like Boba Fett's input on some of the Mandalore stuff? Because
he's not actually Mandalorian.
The last shot of season 1 of The Mandalorian was Giancarlo Esposito with the Darksaber, which was very tied to the Mandalorian stuff in the Clone Wars. It'd be very cool, to see.
It was tied into Rebels
Boba
too with
Fett.
Sabine's character.
Yes,
she was the last person to have it,
which is really cool.
So
maybe we see like Sabine, like I don't know. I'm fancy.
Maybe we see Ahsoka die because she's dead, and I hope she isn't.
Why'd you say that?
But she probably is.
Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka.
Yep,
she is.
Wait. She's gonna be
I thought it was interesting that we didn't
face.
get anything of Giancarlo Esposito in this episode.
That's what I thought. I was like, fuck me. I feel like we left on such a high note and then it kind of not do that.
Petered out. I hope they get to him in episode 2.
So, anyway, that's enough from us nerds.
Yeah, my brain hurts. I want to go to bed.
Hey Kobe,
Dan.
where can the kids find you? Fuck you. Fuck! I hate it when you... Stop stealing my outros, bitch. Hey Kobe, where can they find you?
Fuck, you got me. They can find me at @_55 Kobe55_ and at South_bound_ band on
Remember
Instagram.
when we used to bleep that?
So funny.
God. When I used to do the editing, God, good times.
Good
Hey
times.
Joseph, where can the super young, like surprisingly young children find you?
At Via Garibaldi to look at pizza.
Caden, where can the more appropriately aged kids find you?
Nice. Check me out on my band, Barum Top Band.
Hey Dan, where can the kids find you?
Well, thank you for asking, Kobe. The kids can...
That's him choking on kids.
I fucked it up. The kids can find me at 7 on Twitter and Instagram. Alright, Kobe, you little bitch. You may think you're top shit now that you're editing. You think you can delete my plugs of my fucking personal socials. Nah, man. I'm still the king. I still have all of the power. I have 100% of the power. That's right. You can find me at DanielF737. Whatever Kobe said, don't go there. It's not important. Don't bother. Now enjoy the rest of my amazing outro and fuck you, Kobe. I'm still the king. I'm still the Lord. Also, be sure to check out the streams, twitch.tv/SlaltCast. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, and I want to start doing Thursdays now, actually, because we got surprisingly good numbers.
Thursday's good.
So maybe also Thursdays. Twitch.tv/SlaltCast. Be sure to go there. Also, if you want to give the merch desk money, which some of it might come to us eventually, go to salty.com, buy our shirts. Keep your eyes peeled and posted and looking at the Instagram at SlaltCast on Twitter and Instagram. Mostly Instagram. I haven't posted on the Twitter in ages. To look at future merch drops, any cool updates with the podcast or the streams and stuff. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I ripped my leg off.
What?
Thanks for listening. Please remember to leave a positive rating wherever you're listening from, and to follow our socials at SlaltCast on Twitter and Instagram.